Vicky. I was so fortunate to have had Vicky as my instructor for ORF levels 1 and 2. She was an amazing teacher who was always more than prepared. Let me explain what I mean. It was a typical, very warm summer morning in North Texas when our class began gathering for our movement session. I noticed Vicky preparing materials needed for all the activities that she had planned. She then sat down in the front of the room where we always began class by sitting in a circle. Right in front of her, she placed her notes, her plans for the day. In the doorway to the classroom, which I believe was a dance studio, a couple briefly appeared, had a few words, and then went in opposite directions. Apparently, their morning schedule included some sort of disagreement that left the wife, our class member, upset, visibly shaken. I'll use the pseudonym Cheryl for her. Looking left, I saw a few of our wonderful classmates move to comfort Cheryl, to listen, to embrace her with their care. To be honest, I don't think it helped very much. Looking right, I noticed Vicky. She was holding her class plan and looking slightly over and past it at her students. She then gently, casually, placed her plans for the day aside on the floor behind her. First, she had us do a warm-up movement while she played a percussion instrument. The energy that had entered the door of the class was shared and passed on from Cheryl to her closest companions to the rest of the class, a wave of emotions mirroring what had just occurred. After movement, we went back to our circle. Without saying a word, Vicky spread out a very large piece of art paper in the center of our circle and provided markers and crayons for us to use. And then she simply said, "Now, draw the movement." I watched our class, the grip and strokes of our markers and crayons reflecting the energy and emotions of the past 15 minutes. What surprised me was that Cheryl was now calmly drawing smooth and flowing images, while at the same time, those who had tried to console her still had a firm grip on their crayons as they sketched streaks of bold lines and sharp angles. After a time, Vicky invited us to pair up and create a song on our ORF xylophones, metallophones, and percussion instruments, a song inspired by the movement and artwork that we had created together. Few instructions were given, with endless possibilities for our musical collaborations. Cheryl, who was standing near me, invited me to join her. She was in much better spirits now, as was the rest of the class. I asked if she would like to begin so that I might add a complementary melody or series of motifs. The result was a light and fun piece decorated with slightly dissonant rendering of "Here Comes the Bride." Perfect force with a little half-step placed here and there. If I wasn't hooked on the Orff Schubert method before, as taught to me by Vicky, Jackie, Rick, and Julie, I was certainly hooked by this not planned at all lesson that was perfectly designed for the students gathered in a North Texas dance studio on a warm summer morning. There are those days when we as teachers have to choose to put aside our carefully, even meticulously crafted lessons and meet the needs of our students, and trust them enough to engage in one of those life lessons that most textbooks cannot provide.